Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, taparoo. Welcome to a tapping session with me, Stu. I'm really excited to share this with you. I love doing this work. As all of you start to funnel on into the video, I'll just wait and I'll talk about what this actually does. So for those of you who aren't familiar with tapping, there's actually a lot of really cool information about tapping in many books. There's lots of YouTube videos that go over tapping, and there's also other practitioners who do this as well. Though I do it with a little bit of a twist. I like to do it a little bit more interactive with what's going on, really in the moment as well. And measuring how we're feeling beforehand, and then measuring how we're feeling after. So I'm still going to wait for a few of you to jump on, and I can see I've got a couple of people with me, though you can watch this video again later if there's nobody watching now. That's all good. So stress, overwhelm, and anxiety. One of the symptoms that we produce when we're not really trusting ourselves, we're not feeling confident, we're really focused on what's happening outside of ourselves rather than what's happening within. So those of you who are working with me currently, you know that I'm always an advocate for meditation, always an advocate for going and being in nature. Those two key things will really help you pull in your energy. So while I'm at that note, it's one of those things when the reason why we can be stressed, we can be overwhelmed and have anxiety is because we're so focused on what's happening outside of us rather than what's happening within our body. And it can be really easy to lose ourselves with other people's problems and trying to please other people and having to be in certain places at certain times, really keeping to appointments. It gets a little bit overwhelming after a while when you don't give yourself time to call that energy back into your body. So what do I mean by call the energy back into your body? So we have this energy field that surrounds us and comes inside of us as well. If I was to put this hand under a microscope 1,000 times, or maybe even more than that, I think it's quite a bit more, then we'll see these little atoms just spinning around. So if we're made up of atoms, then we're made up of energy, because just because we're actually, it looks pretty solid, my hand looks pretty solid there, when we put this under a microscope and when we keep looking further and further within, we see energy, or we feel energy. So doing this tapping technique will release any stagnant energy, any kind of energy that is keeping you stuck. I know a lot of people have come into 2017 and they've made New Year's resolutions, though it's about at this point, when we're kind of maybe a third of the way through January, where people start to find things challenging because we haven't spent time with what really matters. Not what we have, not what we're going to do, but what's going on inside here and inside here. When we're listening to our heart and not just our mind, then our heart can actually we can start to connect with ourselves in a much different way. I mean, exercise is fantastic, eating well is really good, but there has to be a purpose to what you're actually doing. There has to be something underneath, a foundation of purpose that actually allows you to keep running with what makes you feel good and what you really want. Now, to simplify it, I'm all about freedom. freedom of speech, being free to do whatever I want, whenever I want, within reason, of course, but being free to travel the world and roam the world as I please. Love and also connection in there. To love myself. For those of you who know me and have been following my Facebook Lives, I've been doing a sexy self-love challenge, which has been very challenging. I started it for a couple of reasons, which I won't go into, but I started doing that and found that the sexy self-love challenge was very challenging. That I was doing it to basically hold myself accountable for some changes that I wanted to make. Okay, so if you've set yourself some goals, some New Year's resolutions, or maybe you're just actually just happy being, either way, this technique is going to help remove stress, remove overwhelm. I suggest that you take this practice further and don't just do it once. You do it whenever you catch yourself with a negative thought, or with a limiting belief, or with telling yourself that you can't do something, or with suggesting that you're not good enough, or you're not worthy of something. So whatever it is that's keeping you stuck is not anyone else's fault. It's not your fault either. It's just what is. So it depends. Like this exercise will all depend on what is going on for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through this, and then I want you to follow me. And I don't necessarily want you to repeat exactly what I'm saying. I want you to follow what you need to get out, what you need to talk about, what you actually need to get out into the open, and you don't have to hang on to anymore. Does that make sense? I'm gonna trust that you guys are listening. I can see Tim, Courtney, and I saw a like from Bryony as well. So just say hello, guys, just so I know that you're watching as well. And any comments, any questions, fire them at me. I may not answer it straight away, but I'll definitely answer it at the end. So first thing is that we get a sense of, we look back throughout our day. Now it's only 4:45, though we look back throughout our day and just scan back, just a quick scan. We don't have to think of every single thing that we've done, but just scan back and go, okay, so at what point did I feel stressed, overwhelmed, or anxious? So I'll let you do that now. Now, as you've done that, it may not be today that's causing you stress. It could be last week. It could be back in 2016. So allow your consciousness to go to whatever time, whatever place, being it last year or the year before, allow your consciousness to go there. Remember not to go too far back, because this is only a really quick technique. I really recommend that if you do want to go further back and there's more healing to begin, I recommend that we have a chat and I can tell you more about how we could possibly work together and how I could support you by really going back and gently and easily moving all that stuff. So for now, we're working on present day and maybe a little bit further back, okay? So don't go further back than maybe a year or two, but just allow whatever's there to be there. Now we've got anxiety, stress, overwhelm. Pick one. Or maybe you've actually got fear, guilt, or shame. Pick one. You can do that now. Now I want you to rate it out of 10. 0, not being stressed at all. 10, absolutely stressed out to the max. I can't handle it right now. So I want you to rate it. So my stress levels today, they're about a 2. So about a 2 out of 10. When I go back to probably 2 hours ago when I was online, I'm just kind of thinking about, what I was going to do for the next couple of weeks. Probably got up to like a 4 or a 5. So I'll probably tap around that. So I want you to follow exactly what I'm doing. Now just comment if you've got an emotion or an experience throughout the day or a couple of weeks back or last year, whatever it is. Just send a comment quickly or like. Thanks, Joni, for liking. I'm glad you're here. So rate it. Rate that experience. Is it a 1? Is it a 2? Now, if it's a 1 or a 2, that's not really stressful. That's not really, you're not going to feel much of a difference. I want you to go really into a situation where you were like doing this or this, like you just can't deal with it right now. Like I want you to go back to that time, and it may be with someone else as well. Just allow your consciousness to float there. Now, do that. Awesome. Well done. Now rate that, and now when you've done that, I want you to get 2 fingers, just like this, just like that. Now, I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to explain the points to you. I went to a 10 last week, flip out mode. Well, you're in the perfect place, Joni. Okay, so first, we're going to tap on this point right at the corner of our eyebrow. Now, if you're tapping away like this, it's kind of defeating the purpose. I want you to go with the rhythm of your heartbeat. So maybe just go underneath here and get your heartbeat. I got mine. So that's about the rhythm of my heartbeat. So I'm going to go through all the different meridian points first. And as I'm tapping, I just want you to do the same thing. We're not tapping on anything yet. I'm just going to show the points. Okay, cool. Then we go to the outside of the eyebrow. Now, some people, you can do this if you want. You can do both, but it works equally as powerful if you just do one side. So I'm doing my right side. So you may want to do your left or your right. So you can do that. Just allow your body to go to whatever side. Don't judge it, just do it. Good. And then we're going to go right beneath, about 1.5 inches below the eye. Good. And just above your lip. Just below your lip. And then find your clavicle, which is your collarbone, right there. Now, I'm going to just put the video down a little bit. I want you to tap. Like, get your thumb and your 2 fingers like that. And I want you to start tapping about 2-3 inches below your clavicle and about that wide apart. So, maybe 4 or 5 inches apart, and then start tapping. Or you can get your hands like this and just tap like this. About 2 inches below your clavicle. Awesome. Now, I want you to tap underneath your arm. Good. Now I'm sweating it up here. Good. Awesome. And now I want you to tap on, with 4 fingers, I want you to tap right on in between the point of your little finger and the bottom of your palm, right on the side of your hand. Can you see that okay? Good, good. Alrighty. And then right in your crown, so if you can see me here, tapping right on your crown. Good. Okay, now you've got the tapping points. So I want you to, once you've rated your emotion, your experience, I actually want you to close your eyes first. And I want you to go back to that time. Good. Now, getting your left hand or your right hand and tapping on the opposite hand, like we just were before. Now, I literally just want you to say after me, in spite of this situation, I'm going to go into my own story as well. In spite of the situation, I'm feeling stressed about not being enough. I deeply and completely love, accept, appreciate, and respect myself. This stress. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ad-lib. I'm just going to add whatever else is there. Now, so it's not too structured. Just go for it. So whatever it is that you're wanting to get out, do that now. Give yourself permission to do that whilst you tap. Don't stop tapping. Keep going. Good. In spite of the situation, I'm feeling stressed about not being enough. I choose to relax now. Good. Keep tapping. I was tapping quite fast then, but I'll slow it down. Good. And then again, in spite of the situation of not feeling like I'm enough, I deeply and completely love, respect, appreciate, and accept myself. Good. Now, going to the first point I showed you, letting go of that stress. All that stress in my body. Even though it's come up quite a bit in my life, just see how I'm just continuing to tap. I want you to follow my tapping. But just continue. You can continue to follow me, but just relate it back to you. It's not about me, it's about you. This is your tapping session. Cool. So there was a time in my life where I really thought stress and worry was a good thing. That I actually thought that I cared about a situation or I was taking responsibility for my life. But now I'm wiser and more amazing. And I know that stress only comes up when I feel stuck or when I feel out of control. And it's only my reptilian brain telling me to stay where you are. And I appreciate my reptilian brain for keeping me safe. Though this is my time to shine. This is my time to shine, and I will follow my heart. Letting go of all of the worry from today and calling back my energy from other times when I was worrying, when I was stressed. Calling back all of my really positive, amazing, powerful, authentic and real vibration. Good, keep tapping. Just keep tapping. Good. And now keep going, keep talking if you need to, or just you can stop for now. Good. Now, how do you feel? Leave your comments below and just give me a like if you're up with me and if this is making sense and you're getting this. So, I'm going to rate my stress and worry as it's about a 1 or a 2 now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just continue visualizing going back to all the times last year where I was telling myself that I can't do this, that I'm not good enough. The times where I was telling myself that this is not my time and that I'm not a good practitioner. I'm not good at what I do. I'm scared. I'm afraid. So calling back all of that energy right now as I continue to tap, calling back all of that energy. All the times I told myself that I wasn't good enough was just me being scared, because at some point in my life I learned that if I hold on to my feelings and don't voice how I feel, then that's actually okay. Though now I'm wiser, and with more life experience, I call all that energy back now. I forgive myself. I forgive the situation. And I forgive all the people involved. Letting go of all of that anxiety, all of that fear. Letting it all go. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. One more time. Nice deep breath in. I want you to actually extend out your hands like I am now. You can't see me, these are my hands. Extend out your hands, and I want you to actually bring your hands down, and I want you to allow energy to come up from the earth. Do that now. As you breathe in, and then breathe out. Allow that energy to rise up as you breathe. Breathe in. And then breathe out. So, just sit with how you're feeling, sit with what's going on for you, and in a minute you can rate yourself. Good, awesome. So, how do you feel? Did you get a change in your energy? Did you find that just by tapping alone and not really saying anything, that your nervous system responds? So when you tap on the meridians, you sedate the energy, and whatever blockages that you may have, sometimes they're a lot stronger than others because of the programming. They can be really, really strong and really govern our response to life. Though sometimes they can actually just be something that if we just start tapping and acknowledge, it can be cleared for good. I'm at a 10, but my overwhelm is at 2 now. I'm at a 10, but my overwhelm is at 2 now. Oh, cool. So you've gone from 10 to a 2. That's great, Joni. Awesome. And those of you who are continuing tapping, keep doing it. But give yourself little rests in between. Allow your nervous system, allow your body, your energy to recollaborate. And that's not from you thinking about it. That's just from you sitting there and observing. I'm at a 10. What's your 10, Joni? Your 10 of overwhelm, or is your overwhelm 2? If your overwhelm's 10, then keep tapping. And if your overwhelm's 2, right. Oh, I'm a bit slow on the up. Please read Joni's comment. That is just gold. Absolute gold. Oh my God, I love you. That's amazing. Cool. Okay, cool. So I've lost my flow now. That's all right though. So at any time, at any point, I did this when I was at the lights. I caught myself thinking a certain way, and I just did a quick little tap, and I waited for the lights to turn green, and I just reminded myself that when I get home, I'm going to do some tapping. Now, tapping will not take away any kind of medical advice that you may need from your doctor. If you feel like you need a doctor, you absolutely go see your doctor, your GP, or you take yourself to the hospital. If you're having a heart attack, or if you're feeling like you're really lightheaded and you actually may need food, or your blood sugar level is low, then, use your logical mind about that. Be realistic as well. Though if you actually know you're sitting comfortably, there's a little bit of fear or stress or overwhelm there, it's like that's different. So if you do have epilepsy, do not do this, because that may start off maybe an epileptic seizure. Please don't do this if you're prone to that. But also do it in your own time and have fun with it. Like there's really simple structure. Send me a personal message if you want to know how to structure it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So this will definitely help you by clearing some really simple overwhelm and stress. Though if you want to know more about what I do, if you really want to completely shift this overwhelming stress for good and you're feeling stuck at the moment, send me a personal message, go to my Facebook page, go back on all the videos that I've showed and shared, because there's an archive. I've also got a YouTube channel now, so I'll share that and go through all that stuff. And then message me, because I'm really interested to know exactly where you're at and where you're heading as well. What I do is completely support people who are really wanting to get the best, to be the best version of themselves and get more freedom in their life, more love. And if you're feeling like that's not possible at the moment, then I would really like to talk to you. We would be a fantastic match to work together. So if you're wanting more freedom, more love, let's connect. And thank you so much for doing this with me. I love doing this tapping with you guys. Thank you so much. And leave your comments below. If you want to message me and you want to know more about it, do that. And oh yeah, my meditation is on Thursday. Will be at Edithvale Beach. For those of you who live in the area, come on down and join me. I'm going to have a little live set up, really simple. So you can sit around me, you can go down the beach if you want, whatever you want to do. Or if you're interstate or you're at home, then please let's connect on Thursday evening. And I've got a little surprise for the people who do attend. And I'm going to be giving away something after it. I'll let you know more about that afterwards, but put that in your diary and we'll have some fun on Thursday and really get some beautiful yin energy into our body and really enjoy that. Okay, that's it for me. Love you all. Have an amazing night and I'll see you soon. Bye.